Long before the era of touching grass, there existed another phrase. A phrase I've heard many times in the past. And after years, I finally realized what I'm supposed to do. I have to see how fast I can get a life in every Mario game, starting with the original Super Mario Bros. On the NES. Alright, so in World 1-1, all we have to do to get a life is head over to this spot where there's a secret 1-up block right here. Right here. There we go. On to the lost levels, where the way to get a life is to not get this mushroom, but instead bounce off this Goomba here for another secret 1-up block. Next up, we've got Super Mario Bros. 2, and while there aren't that many 1-ups in this game, there is one pretty early on over here next to this POW block. Now for Super Mario Bros. 3, what we want to do is very quickly get this mushroom here and throw Koopa Shell at this block to become Raccoon Mario so we can fly up here to get a life. On to Super Mario Land, where we just need to make it past these Goombas and hit the 4th block from the left here to get a 1-up heart, which is a little different but still counts as getting a life. In Super Mario World, meanwhile, the quickest way to get a life is actually by becoming a mass murderer and taking out all these Koopas here. For Super Mario Land 2, all we have to do in the first level is hit the question mark block that we totally remember the location of, and then we can get a life. On to Super Mario 64, where we don't even need to head into a level to get a life. We can just hop over to this tree and pop out a 1-up here. Also, I heard you can get a life by punching butterflies. I wasn't able to get that to work, but if you know how to do that, let me know. Next up is Super Mario Sunshine, but before we can get a life, we first need to serve some time in prison and sit through a bunch of long cutscenes. Do you want to hear my explanation again? Yes. Just kidding. Absolutely not. And once we're reacclimated into society, we can start pounding sand and begin our new life underground here. Now for new Super Mario Bros. First, we'll just grab our speedrunning safety mushroom real quick and make our way over here. Wait. We'll make our way back here where there's a secret vine that leads to a 1-up. On to Super Mario Galaxy, and since there's a lot of intro cutscenes and tutorial stuff in this game before you can find a 1-up, I had this idea. What if I just collect 50 star bits in the beginning part of the game to get a 1-up that way? It seemed like a good plan at first. A lot of star bits were falling from the sky, but over time it seems like they fall less and less frequently until eventually they just stop falling altogether. And there are a couple of these that look like the others, but unfortunately it seems like these ones don't actually turn into real star bits when they land. It's just some kind of looping visual. But I was so close to getting 50 that at this point I don't even care that this is taking longer than getting a 1-up the conventional way. Now I'm just curious to see if this is even possible. So I dumped all my star bits, restarted, and tried again. But lo and behold, ended up with 47 before they stopped spawning again. Surely this isn't some coded in hard cap for how many star bits you can get in the starting area or something like that, right? So I dumped my star bits again and tried one more time. And sure enough, all right, I guess we'll just need to settle for collecting enough so that we can reach 50 over on the bunny planet. Heading into New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I feel like I'm starting to understand what it means to get a life now. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the people who tell me to get a life probably wear propeller suits in public, so I'm gonna get one of those and fly up here where I can collect these red coins to get a life. For Super Mario Galaxy 2, the intro sequence is much shorter than the first one, and also you need 100 star bits to get a 1-up this time, so we're just gonna play through the game normally, I guess. Anyways, we can get a life on the other side of this orange pipe here. On to Super Mario 3D Land, where in World 1-1, we can make our way to this secret tunnel over here, where we can get a life by hiding from everyone underground. Next up is New Super Mario Bros. 2, where all we gotta do is dodge the Great Wall of Goomba on our way to this secret vine where we can simultaneously get a life and decapitate Mario. For New Super Mario Bros. U, we ditched the propeller suit in exchange for a flying squirrel suit, which is just as effective for getting a life. Once we put on our suit, we can fly up to the left here. To get a life. On to Super Mario 3D World, where we're gonna parkour and speedrun our way past the first checkpoint here before smashing our face right into this block to reveal a secret tunnel that has a 1-up. Super Mario Odyssey is the first game where we can't get a life in the traditional sense because there are no 1-ups in this game. What we can do though is some optimal speedrun rolling and make our way up the Frog Tower to get this heart, which gives us extra life, which is good enough for me. Finally, we've got Bowser's Fury, where again, there's no 1-ups in the traditional sense, but what we can do is make it through the intro section and head over to Scamper Shores to become a cat. And we all know that's basically the same thing as getting a life 9 times. And for the final results, here's how long it takes to get a life in every Mario game from slowest to fastest. Now that should stop people from telling me to get a life. Thanks for watching, and if you like these kinds of videos, maybe consider subscribing.